kind of acceptance levels what we have, right? How we are going to accept when we have got the project and all that, so, right? How you are accepting it, right? Are you accepting the project in a whole level, or are you going to accept these things and all everything on small iterations or something like? So this is how generally it depend on all these aspects. In reference to business analysis approach, this is where the idea and as well as clarity of mind is required. So because in the beginning also I told you, right? So developing the right practices, understanding the right development methodologies always plays a vital and important role in terms of the success and failure of the project. Because we have planned an agile way of approach, whatever the application development or whatever the solutions are we going to provide will be completely onto that. Means the kind of policies, the kind of procedures, the kind of activities, the kind of tasks, the kind of formalities you follow, the kind of plan you follow, everything is completely into agile. If it is traditional model, we follow the traditional practice. Sometimes there will be a combination, as I told you. So that has to be planned prior to the work initiation. So it is all depending on, as I told you, right? So lean practice example I have given you, right? Again, it is depending on not only the experiences what we have, it is also depending on the kind of approaches and as well as the models which is being followed by the client there. This is all for services, right? Whatever the explanation I have given for you is all about services. Second, you could ask me one thing, Raj, how about product-based company, right? You're talking about, right? All here we are talking about stakeholders, all that. Okay, if it's a service-based company, if it's a project-based company, so all these will work out, right? So what kind of customers we have, all that. So based on that, we are finalizing. But if you remember, you told me about product-based earlier, right? So how about that? Because there is no customer, nothing, right? Because somebody may ask this question to me, right? There is a possibility. The reason I'm saying that, because how about this product-based? Because in product-based, because what you said is that based upon the requirement, even expectation of the customer, you are developing the product, right? That is what you're saying. But how it works in product-based companies, right? In product-based company, the amount of time you are spending, right? So what is the amount of time you are planning to complete the product? So based on that, generally this agile practice is being followed. Understood? Are we following waterfall practice or are we following traditional practices? Is absolutely of our choice. Why? Because you are developing a product. Let's say I'm developing an application called cloud-based point of sale system for one of my customers, right? Developing a cloud-based. Sorry, I'm developing a cloud-based point of sale system of my own. It's not for the customer. Why? Because I've understood there is an immense need of developing a cloud POS system, because even a small retailer can also use this POS, right? So they have for billing purpose all that. So a small retailer cannot accommodate the infrastructure in maybe in terms of infrastructure wise or financially, they may not be in a position to manage all that, because infrastructure required, if there is any problem, somebody has to troubleshoot that. At the same time, they have to invest some money for this, right? So this is all something trouble for a small retailers, especially small retailers and all everything. They cannot manage all this, right? So because that much of financial as well as technical strength they may not be having. But we have to address those people also, right? So based on the market understanding what we have, assume that, right, we are all finalized to develop a cloud-based POS system. What is cloud-based POS system? You're developing an application on cloud, a point of sale system. Whoever wants to take these services, what they want is a laptop or a desktop with a simple internet connection. You're giving login ID passwords to them. They can simply log on and they can do sales, whatever the billing they do and all everything they can do there, right? So information, data storage and all everything will be looking after by the cloud service provider. So pay per use, right? Whatever you are using, for that you can pay. So this is what simple concept of cloud-based POS. Now assume that we are developing a cloud-based POS system for one of our customers. Understood, right? So for one of our customers. Now it's a product based. Now, in how many days this to be completed? Right? How many days or weeks or months, whatever it is. So it's completely depends on the kind of features what we have taken. What are the different features we have? What is the deadline for us to complete? So these deadlines and all everything We are making for ourselves. This is not for the benefit of, this is not for the, by keeping the view of the customer, right? So because there is no customer as such, you're developing a product on your own, right? In how many months you are going to complete is absolutely of your risk, right? So you're taking more time to complete the product. Your cost of production, right, your cost of development and all, everything will be more. If you want to reduce it all, obviously your cost and all, everything will get reduced, right? So coming to the business analysis, when you are talking about product based companies, completely it's a flexible one, because there is nothing like you can see from the customer centric. In terms of the application development I'm talking about, absolutely in our hands, whether are we going to complete in 3 months or 4 months, this is absolutely our choice, but make sure we have to complete in three to 4 months by following practices of agile and all that, right? So this is how generally the business analysis approach and all, everything will be worked on in the first level when we talk about predictive and adaptive all that. But to have a more simplification, I have taken plan driven approach and change driven approach. This is not something different, right? Plan driven approach means there is a proper plan you are making based upon the information what you have gathered and you are developing it. But second is change driven approach. Again, the same thing, right? Change driven approach means depends on the changes what is required. You are making a plan out of it and you are working on it. That is what generally agile works and all. So these are the different two kind of approaches we follow. One is about the predictive and as well as adaptive approach is the one way of understanding about model, right? When we want to understand the model, right? What is the model we want to choose and all that. So predictive and adaptive approach. Or this, some people will follow a plan driven approach and change driven approach. Plan driven approach means you are making a plan based upon the information what you have and you're going. So whatever the documentation, priorities, right, whatever the kind of schedules they are making, everything will be for a, where it depends on this. Like sometimes this will be longer in period, right? Because in plan driven, this will be longer durations. But whereas in coming to agile and all that, there will be no longer period, there will be very shorter. Why? Because why short? Because what is that required? You are developing only that, right? What is that change customer is expecting? We are developing accordingly. So you are reducing it. So this is all comes under business analysis planning and business analysis approach. This is the first point. Of course,